G'day everyone, and welcome to another edition of Chris Rankin's Music Crush. So today I thought I'd make a video. I talked a little bit before in my last video about a record store tour that I conducted on Saturday just past. So it was an idea that I've had, and I've done it a few times now, where I take people. I put an event on my Headbangers Metal page on Facebook where I invited people to meet up, and then I would take them on a bit of a tour around some of the really good record stores in Perth and the suburbs, sort of concentrating on the stores, the independent stores and things that specialise in vinyl and metal as well, so that CDs as well, but definitely metal along with just records in general. So this time I decided to do more of the southwest suburbs of Perth and Fremantle, the port city of Perth, and go to some of these stores. We stopped off and had lunch. We had great musical discussions at all the different stores. So a few people came in my vehicle, others sort of tagged along in a bit of a convoy, and we met up at each store, spent sort of 45 minutes to an hour in each store looking through, having great sort of jocular debates about all sorts of things. So I thought today I would come on and show the haul that I got on that day. Picked up some really good stuff, some really interesting things. Some of these things I already have in other formats, or I've well and truly listened to them and know them extremely well, and finally picking up physical format. And there's a few blind buys and some really interesting little stories attached. So I thought I'd come on and show what I got. So the places we went to, not that some of these places wouldn't necessarily mean anything to you guys and girls, but I'll talk about them anyway. So I went to Replay Records in Kenwick, southern suburb of Perth. Then we went over to Nat Discography Vinyl in White Gum Valley, just a little outside of Fremantle. And then we went to Record Finder in Fremantle, Junction Records in Fremantle, and Mills Records in Fremantle. So it was a really good day, had a great time. And so I thought I'd show the stuff that I got. So first up, I only got one CD on the day. I wasn't planning to, but I saw this in the metal section at Junction Records and had to get it straight away. So this album was it finished in my top 10 albums of 2019 out of my top 100 albums of 2019. I'm talking about the band Musmahu and their album Reign of the Odious. So this year came out 2019, debut album by them. Haven't had anything since. From Sweden they are, and this is Blackened death metal. Absolutely fantastic, very filthy sound, very grimy sort of stuff. But I love it to bits. This came out very early in 2019. Early January it came out, and for a little while there it was my favourite album of 2019. But then of course White Ward released their masterpiece, The Love Exchange Failure, which made it impossible for anything else to win in 2019. But yeah, great album, very pleased to pick this up. I know the album very well, but I didn't have a physical copy of it, so there's the back of it there. Great album, love it. Now, Ron Haggerty has talked quite a bit about this band and album. It's actually, it's a one-man band. Tristan Sean is his name, comes from San Diego, and his one-man band is known as Author and Punisher. And this is the 2018 album Beastland. This is one of the albums that Ron also showed, Ron Haggerty, when he was doing the thing on Author and Punisher. This is my favourite album of Author and Punisher. This is the 8th album by him. Also, this finished very high in my top 100 of 2018 when it came out. Fantastic stuff. Industrial metal, drone metal, doom metal, a real mix of everything, and a masterpiece, I think. An absolute masterpiece. So good. I won't take it out of the sleeve. It's got one of those terrible static sleeves that gets stuck, so it's quite tricky to take out. I'm going to replace that soon with an anti-static sleeve. But yeah, great record. I love this to bits. I know it well. I haven't played this vinyl version of it yet, so I'm really looking forward to playing that. So good. Now this next one, so quite a few times when I've gone into discography vinyl and I've had good conversations with Nat, the proprietor of the place, we've always had a good laugh about this album. And she finally said to me, look, just take the damn album. She gave it to me for literally nothing. She said, we always have such a great laugh about it. I hate that you wouldn't be able to have this cover in your collection. So I knew nothing about this band, absolutely nothing at all. Kind of rare for me, but I didn't know the band or anything. But the album cover just got me. So here we go. So the band is obviously taking this photo, and they've look casual guys, look happy and well. So we've got this guy smiling, we've got this guy smiling. This guy is pretty happy. We've got this guy getting on the action. He's happy as well. This guy is having a laugh, and the reason is because this guy, what was he thinking? You can see he's quite clearly in pain, and he's thinking, can you hurry the hell up and take the photo, because I've impaled myself on the fence. This is extremely painful. One, I'm in tight corduroy pants as it is, and then I've gone and done this. So these guys are all having a great time. Yeah, take as long as you like. This guy's laughing at him like, you silly fool, what were you thinking? And he is in real trouble. On the back, once again, they're all still really happy, going well, but this poor soul that put himself in that terrible position on the fence, he is still not happy at all. And this guy's, all the rest of them are still like, haha, this is a great day, having a fun day, and this guy's, like, no, I'm in pain. But I've since found out about this album. So the band is Gallery. I haven't listened to it yet. I'm looking forward to it because I know nothing about them. Except I've read a little bit now. So they're from Detroit, Michigan. This is a 1972 album, original press on A&M Records. A&M Records there. Yeah, and I've just read that they're a pop rock band. I didn't want to find out too much. You can kind of guess probably what they're all about. 1972, pop rock, that look. I don't know if I think they put out one. I think I read that they put out one more album after this. So yeah, I do notice on here there's someone in the back here that plays a steel guitar as well. So that sounds pretty good as well. I do love steel guitar a lot. I hadn't noticed that before. So yeah, Gallery 1972, a complete by and by, simply on the fact that the cover always made me laugh and got Nat and I making up all sorts of funny stories about the cover, and she just insisted that please just take that cover because it's provided so much entertainment. So yeah, a complete by and by. Now this is really cool indeed. So quite often when you write something down on a want list, or you put it in your want list, you put it there knowing full well that you're probably not going to even come across it. It'll be there for 5-10 years maybe. One day you'll see it. So I'm watching Martin Popoff and Pete Pardo on Sea of Tranquility, and they were doing a special show on power pop bands and albums, some of the best to look out for. They talked about Jellyfish, which I know and love. They talked about Red Cross, which I know and love. They talked about the Bears, Adrian Belews band, the Bears, which I know and love. Really great stuff. Of course, they mentioned briefly that the more classic stuff that everyone knows, but they tried to show some things that maybe you don't know. And they did it for me. They showed this. So this is Bram Tchaikovsky, which was a solo / band started by a man by the name of Peter Bramall, who went by the stage name of Bram Tchaikovsky. And this is a power pop band record. So I wrote it down after watching that episode of Sea of Tranquility. And there you go. 3 days later on this record store tour that I did, I see it in Junction Records in the rack. I picked it up straight away. Didn't even bother putting it back. I think it was only $13, $14. Didn't even bother putting it back because I thought if I put it back, I'll never see it again. And it'll be one of those things I always wonder. I wonder what that was like. So I got it. I brought it home. Some of these other ones that I got, I know well already or I've listened to before. This one was the only one out of that this lot that I bought that I put on straight away. I came home, put it on straight away, and absolutely adore it. I love it. So this is 1979 on Radar Records. And they put out another, I've read that they put out another album after this in 1980, and that was pretty much it for them. But this is great. Really sort of chunky, hard rocking guitars, but the harmonies and the vocals of a power pop sort of thing. And just a classic sound. Everything is catchy as hell. Show the Radar label, Radar Record. That's the label there, and so many great songs on here. But Strange Man, Changed Man, which is the title track. Lonely Dancer is good, but I like side 2 even better. Bloodline is rocking. I'm a Believer is rocking. Turn on the Light, so good. I love it. An absolute blind buy of a want list that I thought would be on that want list forever, and I got it pretty soon after. So I've gone on about this before. Whenever you're watching videos, whenever you're listening to what people talk about, whoever it is, whatever it is, I always have that A4 exercise book with me, and I write things down, because when you write something down, it helps you remember it, it jogs it in the memory, but then later on, you can go back and look, oh, what was that album that they said was really good? And then it could have been 8 months ago, it could have been 3 years ago. And then oh, that's right, that's what it was. And it just really helps you build your collection what you want. You don't waste on things that you don't want. And it helps, I think, find things quicker that will really make you happy. And I can't go on about that enough. It's my memory's pretty good with these sorts of things. You know, if I go down to the shops, 3 minutes later I forgot what I went down there for. But as far as albums and album titles and covers, I'm pretty good. But I still do use that A4 exercise book. So a lot of people, you know, when I'm watching stuff, when they're talking about albums, whatever, if there's something I don't know, I write it down, because then you end up getting something like this. And I'm so happy I got this. So good. Now, another blind buy. Now, it's pretty rare these days there's a metal band that I have no idea about. Very, very rare. And I'm not saying that in an arrogant way. It's just I spend a lot of my downtime researching about music, listening to albums. I listen to all the new releases each week. So it's, you know, I get to know a lot of bands. But this one, and maybe there might be someone that screams at me at the video, yeah, I know this band well, and that's pretty awesome if you do, because I had no idea about them. This is purely a blind buy. Once again at Discography Vinyl, flipping through the rack, saw this, liked the look at the cover, thought, yeah, that looks like mid-80s heavy metal. So I had a little quick look on the phone to see if I could quickly see anything about it, and what I looked at briefly, I thought, that's enough, that'll do. I don't want to find out any more. I want to keep it a bit I want to keep the mystery there a bit. And I bought it. The band is Intrinsic. The album title is Intrinsic. And it's a heavy metal, speed metal. I haven't listened to it yet. I'm really looking forward to it. But I read just a tiny little bit. It's heavy metal, speed metal. And they have actually since reunited too. I read that they've reunited in 2020, and they've had 3 albums all up, including this. This is their debut. This is on the No Wimp Records label. And I'm really excited to try it, really excited to listen to it. There's the band photo on the back. They're from Morrow, California on the Central Coast. I'll take out the inner sleeve. There we go, there's the No Wimp Records. And yeah, 1987, speed metal, heavy metal. So I literally know nothing about this. I tried to keep it that way as much as I could once I bought it. So it'll be it's nothing more exciting than playing a record or a CD or something for the first time, or you've never heard one note. But a complete blind buy, and yeah, really, really cool. The next one, now I know this album very well. As you probably know, this band is one of my favourite bands all time. I love all prog rock. especially 1970s prog rock, all prog. This is one of my favourite prog rock bands of all time. I'm talking about Camel. And I saw this beautiful reissue on Music on Vinyl, so I grabbed this. There's no way I could resist this. This is their third album, music inspired by the Snow Goose. There are a couple that were put out that just have the title as The Snow Goose. This was taken from a book called The Snow Goose, so the music was actually inspired by that. On their album previously, on Mirage, some of the songs on there were inspired by Tolkien works as well, so that gave Camel a bit more of a wanting to do music inspired by books. This is an absolute masterpiece. This is just a prog rock masterpiece. I've spoken quite a few times before about Moon Madness, the album that comes after this, which is one of my favourite albums and prog rock albums of all time, easily. But this is also just magnificent. I absolutely love this album. You've got Rayada. Rayada Goes to Town, so good. Flight of the Snow Goose, amazing. Probably my favourite song on the whole album is La Princesse Perdue. Just so good. I love this. Can't wait to give this a try, especially the music on vinyl version. So the album's 1975. This is a 2011 reissue. I actually have not seen. Let's have a look. I actually haven't. Some of these I haven't really looked at much. I just haven't had the time. I got them and then I've been off to work. Look at this. It's on the beautiful Passport label. Oh, that's heavy too. It says it's 180 grams. Kind of feels a bit more than that. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. So pleased to have got this. As I say, I know this album extremely well. I do have it on CD, but I could not resist that beautiful copy, music on vinyl. Camel. If you don't know Camel, please check them out. Every bit as good. They are royalty to me, like King Crimson, Yes, Genesis, Gentle Giant, any others that I've missed, but you know the usual suspects. Pink Floyd, the usual suspects. They are right up there with all of them. And in fact, overall, consistently, they're probably maybe my favourite of them all. Them or King Crimson, maybe, because they're just so consistent. They don't do any bad albums. I'm actually planning on doing a Camel discography soon. I don't have their late 80s and 90s, but they don't have many in that. There's only about 4 of them, but I've got all the 70s stuff and one that goes into the 80s. So I'm actually planning, when I get time, to actually film a discography of Camel, just to help you all out and introduce you to them, perhaps, I guess. Got this. I saw this, pretty cheap price. The covers, it's okay. It's not horrible. It's pretty good. I know this band and album very well, but I saw this. I don't have any physical copies of it. Stars, of course, New York, hard rock, heavy metal, lighter side of heavy metal, but for 1976, sorry, not 96, 1976. So for, 1976, it's heavy enough. It's hard rock, heavy metal, a little bit of pop metal. I'm sure you all know Stars very well. This is an original press too, so I was pretty happy with that. Original press on Capitol Records. So this is their debut album. So I'm looking forward to giving that a spin again. It's been a while since I've actually listened to them. Great band. Great stuff. There they are in the back. Got the old bit of the soft focus happening there on the photo, I noticed, but that's cool. Yeah, some Stars. And next to it, obviously right behind it in the rack, this is their third album, I think, from memory, third album. Yeah, third album. I forget the name of the one in the middle, one in between this. Self-titled, this, I can't remember, they only did five albums. And this is their Attention Shoppers. A little bit more commercial, a bit more AOR pop metal sound. Not quite as great as I remember as the debut. Or the one in between, the second album was pretty good from memory. I can't remember what it's called now. This is also on Capitol. This is also an original press. So I was pretty happy, pretty cheap price. It's got the little the hole punch thing there, but that's no big deal. You know, sometimes when you're buying records for not much, but the record's in good condition and it's an original as well, and you know, some of these records, especially down in Australia, some of these records are pretty hard to find, so very, very happy to get that. So I'm looking forward to playing that soon. 1978 is that record, by the way. It came out. And lastly, I got this. So more prog rockers are pretty, actually almost everything, except for the Musmahu and Author and Punisher and Intrinsic. Everything else was all 70s. Just looking at my pile of records down there that I've been talking about. And yeah, so this is Tormato, 1978 Yes album. Second last of the great Yes albums in my opinion. So Drama was after this, which was really great too, and then for me they really, yeah, just I'll just leave that. I don't want to upset anyone if they like the 80s stuff, but I can't stand it. But 70s Yes is magnificent, and this is a great album. I don't remember much of it. I haven't listened to it at all for a long time. I am familiar with it very well, but I haven't actually listened all the way through properly for a very long time. So I'm looking forward to playing this. This is their 9th album, as I say, 1978. Drama came after this, and then of course the 90215 whatever it's called. I don't really care because I don't really like it much. But yeah, there we go. On Atlantic. Fantastic. So very happy to get this as well. I haven't looked on Discogs to see what version this is. I can't see anything else on the back any other years after that, so I don't know whether it's a reissue or not. But yeah, I'll have to have a look on Discogs later to see what version this is, but it's a pretty nice copy. Very nice indeed. Vinyl seems good. Pretty good price as well. So yeah, starting to get my Yes collection pretty good now. Pretty much everything in the 70s. I think I only am missing the debut and Relayer, to be honest. So yeah, that was the last. So there we go. That's my haul. Not a whole lot of the heavy, brutal stuff, but that's me anyway. I know I show a lot of the heavy, extreme, brutal stuff, but my collection is far beyond that. The heavy, brutal stuff would probably, or metal in general, would probably take up about 60 to 65% of my collection, but you know, when you've got a decent sized collection, 35% is still quite a lot. So, but anyway, that was my haul that I got on the tour. The record store tour was a lot of fun. I hope I can do another one soon. I've got more videos coming up. It's just at the moment, I'm sorry if I haven't had a chance to comment on your videos. I am watching them, and I will get back to some of them and make comments and so forth. And I'll try and get back into making some more videos, but finally getting domestic tourists over to this part of Australia, so my work is crazy busy. So it's just taking the time to film them and so forth. But I've got a lot of discography videos to do, and yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all very soon.